break, take it slow. A break with KitKat. Give me a break, take it slow. Give me a break, take it slow. Unwind with KitKat. A little me time. This love is for you. Let's set the mood right. I see every story, every voice, plus every shine. A break with KitKat, it's your time. Take it slow. Unwind with KitKat. This love is for you. Let's set the mood. Give me a break, take it slow. Unwind with KitKat. A little me time. This love is for you. Let's set the mood right. I see. Unwind with KitKat. A little me time. This love is for you. Let's set the mood right.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to A Break with KitKat, the podcast where we unpack life's lessons, sip a little truth tea, and keep it real, always. I'm your host, KitKat, and today's episode is one I know a lot of y'all are going to feel deep in your soul because we're talking about a topic that has broken up more marriages and relationships than actual cheating has. Today's episode is titled, Keep Your Family Out of Your Marriage, Out of Your Relationship. Y'all, do I have a story for you? Let's get into it. So, y'all, before I get into my tea, let's be real. Family can be a beautiful thing, I promise. Your parents, siblings, aunties, cousins, they've known you your whole life. They've seen you through your wins and your losses. They know your patterns and they love you, or at least they're supposed to. But just because someone loves you doesn't mean they know what's best for your marriage. And just because they've been in your life longer doesn't mean they belong in your relationship decisions. See, when we let family dictate how we love, who we love, or how we deal with our partners, we start moving from partnership to puppet show. And baby, if too many hands are pulling the strings, that love will never last. Let me just call it out. A lot of us are guilty of oversharing. We get mad, we vent. Trust me, I know. Facebook is my family, bitch. I post on there about fucking anything. I got people mad at me to this day because I'm posting me and my husband's relationship and shit on my Facebook. But who can I go to if my husband is going to his mommy and his family about any and everything that we go through and doesn't discuss anything with me, mind you. But hold on, y'all. Hold on. Anyway, but yeah, we get mad. We vent to mom, sister, cousin, bestie, mama's boyfriend, even the group chat. And in the moment, it feels good and you feel validated. You feel heard. But here's the problem. The people you vent to don't forget. They remember every tear, every argument, every disrespectful word your partner said. And even after you've forgiven your spouse and moved on, your family most certainly has not. Now you're at the next family barbecue and your man or woman walks in and everybody's giving him or her the side eyes and fake smiles because they're still stuck on the version of you described last month. Okay? Like, for me, I don't even go to any events because of the situations that my husband has put me into with his family. And then some of the stuff is not even true, but guess what? They're so in their ways, they're so in their head about how this person that was described to them at a time of anger, they didn't think to come to me and verify the facts. Is my word against his, or is his word against mine? And if there's a proven track record of lies, I would have at least wanted to get to the bottom of it. But anyway, oversharing doesn't just damage his or her reputation, it also sets your relationship up to never fully heal. Your family may love you, but they're not in your bedroom. They're not in your financial talks. Your family's not giving you money. They're not working with you and helping you pay your bills or your rent or helping you advance to the next level in your life. They don't see how your partner holds you at night, supports your dreams, or helps you when no one's watching. They only know what you tell them. And let's be honest, most of us only share the bad when we're mad. They don't get the full picture. So now they're making judgments, forming opinions, giving advice on a story with half the pages missing. Your marriage, your relationship should not be a family group project. It's not meant to be up for review, debate, or approval. One of the most loving things you can do for both your partner and your family is set boundaries. Let me say that again. Boundaries are love. Y'all have heard my last episode. Not my last episode, but my podcast about setting boundaries. So look, think back to that. Tell your family, I love you, but I'm not disclosing or discussing my relationship with you. I know you mean well, but this is between me and my spouse. I hear your opinion, but this decision is ours to make. Respect doesn't mean silence. It means protecting your peace. And when you protect your marriage from outside noise, you give it room to breathe, grow, and heal. Sometimes it's not just about interference. Sometimes family becomes the problem. Maybe they're disrespectful to your spouse. Maybe they insert themselves into arguments, try to control how y'all raise your kids, or play favorites with in laws. If you've ever had to choose between your peace at home and your family's approval, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me make this clear. If your family consistently disrespects your partner and you allow it, you are betraying your marriage. You are showing your spouse that their dignity is optional, and that opens wounds that does not heal easily. When you say I do, you are choosing your partner as your first teammate. And let me repeat that for the people listening. When you say I do, you are choosing your partner as your first teammate. That does not mean that you're cutting off your family, but it does mean you're prioritizing your household, the family that you have created the moment you said I do. It means standing up for your spouse in front of your family, not letting them talk sideways about your partner, not running to them with every problem, and definitely not letting family manipulate your choices. Protect your marriage like you'd protect a child because it needs nurturing, guidance, and protection from outside harm. Look, I know it's hard, especially when your family has always had a voice in your life, but you have to ask yourself, is their voice building my marriage or breaking it? Your relationship is sacred. It deserves privacy. It deserves patience. And it deserves to grow without a jury watching and judging its every move. So, to anyone listening today, whether you're married, engaged, or trying to rebuild something, remember this. Not everyone needs a seat at your table. Some people need to stay outside the door because your marriage, your relationship, it's between two, not a committee. So I'm about to tell y'all the situation that I got going on right now. And I would love to hear some feedback because for the last 3 weeks, I have just been like losing my mind. And it is what it is. But look, listen to this. Before I begin with my story, let me just let y'all know it is not his entire family. There are people that have decided to remain neutral and stay out of it, like they should, because they understand that not everything is black and white. Okay, so let me begin. I loved my husband, still love him, even after everything. We didn't come into this perfect, but I thought we had something real. But the truth is, from early on, I noticed his family was always there, in our business, in our disagreements, and eventually in the destruction of our peace. Every time we argued, he ran to them. Every time I vented or cried or broke down, they judged me, picked sides, and surprise, surprise, it was never mine. At first, I thought it was just normal family dynamics, but looking back, I realized I was never just fighting for our marriage. I was fighting an entire family who just simply did not want me in it. They'd say slick things online, post shady statuses, and he'd heart it like it wasn't aimed at me. I tried to ignore it, I really did, but the disrespect was blatant. Even when I brought it up, I was told I'm sensitive, dramatic, or just outright crazy. He would let them drag me while saying he wanted to fix things. He promised counseling, then backtracked because he didn't want people in our business. But mind you, his entire family was already in our business. They've been living in it rent free. Let's be real. You cannot fix a relationship if you're laying in bed with your partner and their mama, sister, cousin, auntie's opinions too. There were days I felt like I was drowning, like no matter how loud I screamed, he could not hear me. Or worse, he just didn't care. And when I snapped, after days of silence, neglect, and being shut out, he used it against me, ran back to them with screenshots, but never the full story. Never the part where I begged him to talk, to communicate, or just to love me like a husband should love his wife. He treated my pain like a nuisance and not a cry for help. And I started to ask myself, what exactly am I even holding on to? A man who's already left me emotionally for his mama? A family that never wanted me there to begin with? Like, you treat my children different. Like, it was already there from day one. Like, the whole reason why any of this is even going on is because I asked for my children to be treated equally. That was it. Yes, I have a daughter outside of our marriage, a child that was here before he was here. And I treated his son that was before me with the utmost respect. I treated them 100% equally. There was nothing that my children got that he didn't. So I just asked for that same reciprocation back. My mother treated Jaden with respect. She treated him like her own blood grandchild. But I could never get that in return. And that's sad. But here's the part I hate admitting out loud. I tried to save this. I tried so hard. I begged for therapy. I tried to explain my side. I tried to protect his image. I even stayed quiet while his family painted me as the villain. And you know what? I realized I wasn't just fighting for love. I was fighting to be seen, heard, and respected. Something that should come naturally in any relationship. But instead, I was made to feel disposable, replaceable. Like the moment I no longer served his image, I could just be written off. Like I didn't just give him the world. When I met him, he wasn't in a good spot. But I saw the potential. I saw what he could become. And I decided to take that chance on him. Even after all of the stuff, all of the issues that we had while we were dating, I still decided to say, yes, I will marry you. Of course, I was the fool at the end of that story. Like, I'm still healing, still figuring out what moving on looks like. But if there's one thing I know for sure, it's this. If you're in a relationship, protect it like it's sacred. And don't let anyone, even family, come in and corrupt the bond you're building. Family can love you and still ruin you if you let them ruin your relationship. Family can love you and still ruin you if you let them run your relationship. And if you're listening to this and feeling seen, just know you're not crazy. You're not too much. You're not wrong for wanting peace, for wanting love that doesn't come with conditions or a committee. You're just asking for what you deserve. And you're allowed to walk away from anyone, even blood, who stands in the way of your healing. My children are being impacted by all of this. And one thing I know for sure, my kids come before anything. So if you're crushing my kids' feelings because you're uncomfortable, because you're told to feel uncomfortable or act like you're uncomfortable in the house with me, and you decide to go stay with your mother and then put me out on eviction, mind you, that's impacting my children because they're so used to seeing me and daddy in the same house at all times. Now all of a sudden, you slept with me for 2 days and decided, I don't feel comfortable in this house. I'm not going to be here as long as you're here. That's crazy, right? Mind you, you slept peacefully in this bed for 2 nights. So somebody's in your head. Somebody's making you say these words. And it's just shocking to me that you're not man enough to have your own mindset. I've never put words or thoughts into your head that would make you think differently of someone. I always let you judge based off of what you see. And that's the crazy part. Granted, like, yeah, I know that's your mom. And I know from what you've told me of the trauma that you have dealt with your mom. So yeah, y'all close. And I've never knocked you for that. And I've never knocked you for that. But to be in the middle of you having to choose between your mom and your wife, as a grown man, you are married to your mom at this point. You are cheating on me with your mother. And I don't know how we're going to come back from that, if we can even come back from that. Yes, I might text him now, even to this day, and blow his phone up. But most of the time, it's because my children want to know where their daddy is and what's going on and why he's not home. But we can blame family for that, his family, because my family, they stay out of the situation. They might try to talk to him to see what's, how, what's going on in his head, but that's about it. But like I said, if you're listening and this is resonating with you to the nines, just know what you're worth. Know when to walk away. Yes, I fought for it until I couldn't fight anymore. Fought for our marriage, but like my cousin said, you cannot fight if you're the only one in the ring. So at this point, it's time to stop fighting and it's time to hatch a brilliant plan. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me on this deeply personal episode of A Break with KitKat. If you felt this in your soul, share it. Send it to a friend who needs to hear it. And remember, protect your peace, protect your heart, and keep your family out of your relationship. I'll talk to y'all next week. You will be staying tuned for my healing and my journey going forward. Until then, take care of you and let me know how y'all are feeling. Let me know in my inbox. Y'all know how to reach me. Love y'all.
Give me a break, take it slow. A break with KitKat. Give me a break, take it slow. Give me a break, take it slow. Unwind with KitKat. A little me time. This love is for you. Let's set the mood right. See every story, every voice, plus every shine. A break with KitKat is your time. Take it slow. Unwind with KitKat. This love is for you. Let's set the mood right. Give me a break, take it slow. Unwind with KitKat. A little me time. Let's go.